Goldfish flavor blasted. Cheddar jacked. Epic flavor. Tiny cracker. Tiny cracker. Tiny cracker. Tiny cracker.
Yeah, good idea. Yep. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Testing 1, 2, 3. I gotta put my mic basically up my nose.
Hey AJ, how you doing? Oh, my camera is looking at the ceiling. Hey Nick. Hey Macaro. Hey everyone, we are just going live because I think that DM Stretch slept in.
Yeah, I think maybe he finally passed out from sheer exhaustion because he's not. The calendar says he should be on, but he's not. So we were going to go on after him to fill the gap, but or Erin was anyway for sure. So we thought, we'll just start early. If he shows up, we'll go off, and
If he wants the slot, then yeah.
he's quite welcome to it. Or if he wants the later slot, he can have that too. That's cool. He could do the 2 hours we were going to do, one of the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you guys doing today?
AJ is tired.
I had like absolutely crapola sleep.
Geez, you're up early, Nick.
Yeah, no doubt. He probably just got up.
Yep.
Oh, DM stretches here. Hey, sorry guys, I fell asleep with a black hole, aka sofa. That's cool, man. Do you want the slot back? We were just gonna hold the fort till you got here, or if you want, take the 2 hours after it, like the 2 hours we were gonna fill. I don't care. It's totally up to you. This is absolutely, relaxed, casual. We were gonna get some work done. Stream.
Yeah. What do you want to do, Stretch? You want to take this slot or you want to take the next 2 hour slot?
Absolutely, your call.
Yeah. Or would you rather take a day off?
This is an option too. Project Deus is an alpha now. Awesome. DM Stretch says, I'm easy either way. I could do with waking up first, to be honest. Back is aching too as my feet were still on the floor, so back was at a funny angle. All right.
Okay.
No worries. I'm
No
sorry to hear you're
worries.
in pain.
Well, wake up, and if you feel like taking the 2 hour slot after this one at 3 our time, well, that would be like 11 your time. All right. It's all up to you. Right? If you don't, I'll just keep running it until we reach.
Or if you know an hour from now you're like, okay, I'm ready, we'll get off.
Yeah.
He's got a 4-hour stream tonight, so you know.
In a few hours. I've been playing with Dios and loving it. How's it for cities? Yeah, that's true. I hear ya, AJ. Yeah, new mattress and box spring. Yeah. Yeah, that's great, Stretch. You'll we'll turn it over to you in like, an hour and a half.
Yeah, no worries. That's perfect.
Sorry about that. Wow, hey. Started up a bit too fast and the world started spinning. Oh, I've been there. Okay, well, let's do some sprinting in this one. I've got a timeline I got to write. All right. And so I'm going to be doing that. And I believe Sable's working on timelines as soon as she gets back. But in the meantime, we're going to do a 15-minute sprint here. All right, so we can get things going. Okay? So sprint away, people.
There we go.
Sorry, I had y'all on mute there. We are sprinting. We are 2 minutes into a 15-minute sprint.
In the beginning, there was nothing, and silence lay upon the face of the deep. And then there was sound.
And Erin heard the sound and heard that it was good.
Rosa, how you doing? Hi, Realm. Nice to see you. I'm gonna get to work on this sprint. I really need to get some shit done today.
Ables and bosons, right? That get the game and stuff.
Yeah, and if you think it's relevant, there's one for old school too.
Nope. Why would they know the history of the faceless ones?
That's true. Hello, Esong.
Esong, how you doing, hon?
Okay, so I'm working on my timeline. At least if I can concentrate for 10 seconds. Right, that's what I was doing, checking the date. Where's my calendar? There it is. Yeah, okay. Enough time had passed between that and the last event. I think 3 months of heavy fighting is probably
Sufficient?
just fine. Uh-oh. I hear laughter and I don't know why. Now I have to look at the chat.
Oh, Esong is translating the 20 Things articles in Thingamicon into tables in World Anvil for her game.
God.
Scribe actually put her on a budget. They had a budget meeting
Uh-huh.
over Raging Swan Press. And she blames me entirely.
It's totally your
my
fault. She should blame you completely. I like your dragon character idea there, Barbarossa. That's really cool. Good! Barbarossa, that's great. I just realized I have not created or planned a character yet, a human character yet, except human policeman who has gun. Good. Relegate humans to secondary roles. I like that.
Humans are second-class citizens. They rank just behind dogs.
Time for a CSS sprint. Okay, awesome. I rank just behind dogs. Jeez.
Which is to say, there's some of them I like. Dog is an orc, though. Yeah. Bet you he works like a dog, too.
And this is where, if you said this in the World Anvil Discord channel, they would give you the gif with the newspapers to smack you in the nose. Terrible puns. Okay, I gotta get to work. That's it. I gotta stop yapping. Brent already or something? Okay. Right, Battle of Mananan Station. And Galacron is here, so it looks like after our edit, after our sprint, we're going to be doing an edit, which is cool. Up or anything, did we, Galacron? That would suck, because we're going to be here again tonight. But you're here, so we'll do your edit. That's cool. Oh, and by the way, thank you to X Riker for following and subscribing yesterday since our last broadcast. Right, so what the hell day was this? This was...
Actually, you didn't forget the time zone stuff and stuff. We're on 2 hours earlier at Lord Galacron. Almost outed him again. Hey, Bob. Yeah, it's still great. After the sprint, when Sable gets some work done.
I'm going to 12th of.
Yeah, we're on 2 hours
Storm.
earlier than normal. We were going to be on at 3 Pacific time. We're on at 1 Pacific time. I was going to go back to work, but there's less than 2 minutes left. Nice. Did these ones spend like 3 days waiting for the petrification to wear off? Ah, too bad. Boo hiss. Just not a good game unless you petrify one of the players. Oh, I mean characters.
Yeah, you mean characters, do you?
It took a while for that, and then it was slowed down. That wear off, yeah. Kim Stretch gets it.
Yeah. Why not? Okay, new historical entry. Alright, good.
Okay, we are.
Something done anyway. Got the entry started.
I got the entry started.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what I missed in the chat. Yeah, we're good there, Realm. We're gonna do the rest of the edit right now. Excuse me. Good to see you, Bob. Yeah, since you're on. Yeah, a Word document to include the screenshots in sounds just fine. That's probably what I'm going to do too. And you're right, it's a bit of a, logistical headache to go back through the sheets, but he was cool with that, so and we're going to have to do it to some degree too, because just make sure we got our timestamps right and stuff, but yeah.
Okay, throw it back up on screen there. Galacron, and we'll.
Oh, I still have it open, actually. I left it.
Well, I don't.
So. Well, it's your problem, isn't it? So are people trying out the alpha release of Deus? Is that what's going on with all the map making chat?
Yep.
Okay, cool. The fun part was watching two halflings trying real hard to prevent the half-orc from slaughtering the leprechaun who sent them to the chicken. That is hilarious.
Cockatrice.
Yes, well,
It's a cockatrice.
come on, a cockatrice is a chicken. I agree.
Okay, we got this coming up here. Fire it up. Fire it up.
Okay, thanks, Bob. That would be great.
What did Bob say?
He says, but I'm going to demo both screenshot and copy-paste methods of catching the reports. Excellent. That's great, because some people might not want to copy-paste. That's fair enough.
Yep.
And Barbarossa is working on his orc private eyes. Cool. All right. Now, where were we here?
Chapter 1. We were...
Right, holding the child, right, and the screaming. Oh, yes, I suppose I should ask, I didn't catch this last night because I was tired, right? Is it the child who is screaming or the woman who is screaming? Because that changes how you put that sentence, obviously.
The woman.
Okay, I was right then, good. All right, they did succeed, the leprechaun lives.
Oh no, Dot's getting out of her cone of shame. Dot is Makaro's rat.
Cool, I'm glad she's getting out of her cone of shame.
No, she's not supposed to be getting out of it.
Uh-oh. Oh no, that's not good then. Okay. Tape it back in place. Duct tape.
Staples? No, I'm kidding. Duct tape, yeah.
Yep, duct tape. Jekyll looked at the child and tears almost burst from his eyes. Yeah, okay. It's a very strong emotional reaction, but then again, maybe there's a reason. The child was a girl with ginger hair and blue eyes. Wait for what dragon? Oh, the dragon's got a roar here. Well, we need to shut the dragon off.
Yep.
Our row broke her cone of shame. You know, everybody calls it that now. Everybody calls it the cone of shame now. I don't know anybody who calls it anything but. It becomes part of the culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dragon reminded everyone to pay attention. Yeah. Elizabethan collar? Well, that'd be an accurate description for sure, wouldn't it? I like that. Yeah, I love that movie too. That's a great movie. Up is an amazing movie. If you've not seen it, I recommend it. And not that I don't know anybody who hasn't though, but feeling like that's what dogs honestly think about it, because they always look so embarrassed when they have the thing on, don't they? So back to work here. Pull up on the screen. You do. Okay, good stuff. Or the. Do I think it'd be silly if dog's floor mat at his door had an arcane ward of protection on it? Hell no. I think that as a practicing witch, I put a ward of protection on my welcome mat in my store. So I think that's a perfectly rational and reasonable thing to do. Might also want to get the windows and the mirrors. Feeling like, throwing in a little fun there, you might also want to get electrical outlets, phone lines, and anything else that creates any connection to the outside world. That's my thought.
Inside Out is a good show.
Take away my nerd card because I haven't seen it yet.
That's the one about the little girl.
I know the feelings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a word on the welcome mat. Is that like adding terms and conditions to the welcome? Yes, it's creating a pact, right? You see, it's all about people coming in with hostility and aggression. That was one thing that like we were on a back street and the neighborhood wasn't the best, so that was part of it. And there was also a word on it that prevented theft. No worries.
Autocorrect. Gotta love it, eh, song? We bought shit twice.
All right, so here we are. The sentence is confusing. The child was a girl with ginger hair and blue eyes. As her mother, a pink shirt covered her torso. Three distinct stains of black and crimson blood. This makes no sense. I don't. I mean, like I get what you mean, but let's see.
You're missing some words.
Yes, and possibly these should be broken up into separate sentences. The child was a girl with ginger hair and blue eyes. Her mother had a was wearing a pink shirt with three distinct stains of blackened crimson blood.
The child's wearing the shirt.
The child's wearing the shirt?
Yeah, I caught that part. It's a little confusing, but yes.
Oh, yeah, okay. So the child was a girl with ginger hair and blue eyes. She wore a pink shirt with three distinct stains of blackened crimson blood. Something like that.
Yeah, you don't need as her mother in there. Right?
Yeah, because
unless there's a reason to draw attention to the fact that she looks like her mother. Right?
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's not necessarily. It's useful scenery, but
okay. If you do want to draw attention to that, the child looked just like her mother with ginger hair and blue eyes. She wore a pink shirt with three distinct stains of black and crimson blood. Right? That would be suggest handling that. 3 stains, Jekyll whispered and looked at the bed. Period. New sentence, capitalization there, 3 shots.
no need to apologize, Angst Hayes.
Yeah. Or 3 stains, Jekyll whispered, looking at the bed, comma, 3 shots. Okay.
Just to address something here really quickly.
Oh.
Angst Hayes, you're not in the wrong there. I was in the wrong in what I did, so you'd have no reason to apologize. Right? Your aggression was totally founded, and I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry.
Talk about that briefly. Erin is schizophrenic and a psychopath. Occasionally, he misses social cues that he should get.
Yep.
Right? Brianna doesn't mind being teased in this way, right? Or I don't even know if that's directed at teasing. It's more like self-deprecation, right? And Brianna doesn't seem to mind. I have warned him that other people do mind, and they're very offended by it because right-wingers tend to use it as a form of mocking. But I guess he didn't think about that, and he deserved some chastisement. So.
Yeah, I was in the wrong. And I apologize.
I'm glad to hear that you figured out how to deal with the code of shame there, Mikaro. That's cool.
Oh, good. Bad, Dot. Bad.
What is black and crimson? I get the imagery, but yeah, I got the imagery too. I actually kind of like it. I think that dried blood has a unique color. It's interesting that you are describing it, and because you're focusing on it as a sensory detail, it increases the horror of the situation.
Can I ask you where the blackened comes from? Because usually dried blood goes brown. If there's a bullet involved, right, the blackened comes from the gunpowder, right? And so, are you saying that in his dream or in this frenzied state that he was close enough to the baby to leave gunpowder burns on it?
Well, okay, or the other. Yeah, that could be. Okay. But also when blood starts getting tacky as opposed to thoroughly dried, it's kind of black
Okay.
in color, especially if it comes from deep arterial wounds like the heart.
Okay. I guess that's true.
Okay.
You're right, I'm wrong.
He heard a burst of, and then pick one, either sadistic or sinister, right? Because that's too many adverbs. Or adjectives, rather, in that case. No, yeah, adjectives, yeah. Whichever one you prefer, right? Laughter that came from the child. How about this? The child tilted her head towards him. A disturbing, sadistic laugh came out of her mouth, or came from her belly, or something like that, right? The same, and then a new sentence, the same, like all of these are new sentences, right? And then the same drowned face he saw earlier stared back at him, or stared deep into him, one of the two. Jekyll looked at the elderly woman. Well, we know her name is Priscilla now, right? So Jekyll looked at Priscilla. She was staring back at him, and I think that should be a different sentence. Their faces nodded. Okay, we'll go with that because of the sense of unreality, right? Their faces nodded. Yeah, perhaps period there. He returned to his apartment. He returned to his apartment, closed the door, and clicked the 7 different locks into place. Okay, I'm going to throw something out here as an experiment, but I don't know if, he always has scales on his arm, or if this is kind of a thing that happens from time to time and he knows that that's a problem, right? Demonic possession or something, but he held his hand out, comma, and pulled up the sleeve of the shirt, and pulled up his shirt sleeve, right? Or, yeah, in this case, I would say to use pulled up his shirt sleeve, right, as opposed to pulled up the sleeve of the shirt. The difference between them is that pulled up the sleeve of the shirt disembodies him from his shirt. And that has been a consistent tone that you've been using, but something bad is about to happen to Jekyll, so we kind of want to experience things through his point of view, I think. So you may want to try, pulled up and pulled up the sleeve of his shirt, right? Okay, so he held his hand out and pulled up the sleeve of his shirt, or pulled up the sleeve of the shirt, whichever you prefer. If you want to maintain that disembodied feeling, that's your choice. That's a stylistic thing, right? The scales were still there, is what I would say, instead of revealed the scaled arm. Yeah. He clenched his fist. Period. Sanguine sparks coursed through it. Period. Right? That's a mixed metaphor, but he looked out his window and he felt a wave of change as he knew he was no longer in this world. If he's looking, we expect him to see a ripple or a wavering, or, if he's looking out the window, we expect there to be some reason why he's looking out the window and some interaction with that environment in some way. Like, I could see, reality rippling or darkness falling over it or mist or something like that. But maybe he doesn't even need to look out the window, right?
Just he felt a
Wave of change as a comma, as he knew he was no longer in this world. So, and then, and that's fine. Again,
Hydrate.
oh, thank you. Hail, hydrate. Nothing wrong with that, the way that's put, right? But you may want to give us a more visceral feeling of how that feels, right? Like, you might want to say a sinking sensation, or his stomach plummeted into his boots, or I don't know, whatever, right? Like, I don't know. You don't have to. It's fine the way it is. Just throwing out suggestions.
Shout out to Esong. Esongbird is awesome from Barbarossa.
Songbird is awesome. I agree completely. Yeah. This isn't a rough throat per se. This is allergies. Expecting to be on this early. I got my allergy pills are not cutting it. So should I get that?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be right back. Just waiting on Sable to grab some more allergy pills here. I am doing great, Barbarossa. I am great. And my posture sucks. Sable's posture is upright. Nice, man. You know what drives me nuts? A big ship wheel down my pants. Hey, Ron. The rudder. Hey, no problem, Galagrand. Yeah, right at the beginning of the white part.
tattoo, a symbol of a sword with bat wings stretching out over the shoulder blade, or stretching out over the shoulder blade, either way, comma, road sanguine, period. Some of the cuts he withstood from the night before sealed. There we go. New paragraph. The drowned figure, drowned, not drowned, I would say. The drowned figure of the blood-stained child peers through the door. Period. You've left a trail, comma, shit-stained, comma, and now I, the hunter demon, will kill you! Hit one exclamation point is necessary. Editors don't like that. Editors don't like exclamation points at all, actually. They do a pain in the ass. I constantly fight them about exclamation points. Anyway. I get excited, damn it. My characters have feelings, okay? Sometimes period just seems too flat to me, but in this case, I definitely think it needs one exclamation point, and I know you don't capitalize it, so it's a booming scream or roar that fills the whole world, so fair enough.
Mm-hmm. Private. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you guys. I'm having a conversation with someone at the moment. Yeah, I'm ignoring you. I'm ignoring you to have a conversation with somebody. So, I'm not sure.
The diabolical voice twisted. Period. Jekyll looked out the window and saw in the distant horizon of the cityscape. Excessively large primate with gangly proportions, darkly skinned fur. Each star ran down the center of its face, and its nose was completely gone, only a large, crooked nasal cavity remaining. It bore a harvest with its torso, and had strapped to its right leg that held a grappling gun. The gun pointed directly at Jekyll's target. The beast held the gun and stretched forward the broken to pieces, fell apart, snake bit those suspended in air. Okay, I get what's going on here, and I'm about to break this apart in ways that may hurt. I apologize. So,
Sure, I'll look at your Boros article there, DM Stretch.
yeah, you'll be looking at it though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Which is totally weird, but anyway. Alright. My first question is, why did he suddenly think to look out the window? What happened to give him the clue that the window might be important? Did a shadow pass over the sun and did he catch it in his peripheral vision? Did the drowned blood-stained child disappear? Right? He needs something to trigger him to decide to look out the window. Right? It's better if the child
No. Shoot, I can't remember at the moment. Grodd. The Leper Kong. Yeah, and Silnarski Marne is a really arrogant, nose in the air elf for his long windedness.
Is not probably coming up. What?
Oh, they could hear you over my mic, but I had you on mute by accident.
Oh, so I've been talking this whole time and they haven't heard a word I've said?
They heard you. They just said it was really quiet.
Okay. Am I making sense? Did you guys hear, or is this so... Shit, I'm afraid of this being lost.
Hanks didn't hear you.
Okay, the key is, did Galacron hear me?
No, they couldn't hear you at all.
God damn it. Okay.
Sorry, it's my fault, guys. Sorry. I muted her when the phone rang and...
Okay, let's put the image of his story back up.
Yeah.
That will confuse people less too. Okay, so now that you can hear me, okay, Galacron, I am about to tear this paragraph apart, and I apologize for that. There's really good stuff in it, but it needs some restructuring. I'm going to help you with that. Read it, right? Because I did, but I'm not sure any of that was heard. So, Limbo, shit. Jekyll flexed his back as a sigil of a sword with bat wings that stretched out the shoulder blade, glowed sanguine, and some of the cuts he withstood from the night before sealed. A drowned figure of the blood-stained child peered through the door. You've left a trail, shit stain, and now I, the hunter demon, will kill you! Diabolical before Jekyll looked out the window and saw in the distant horizon of the cityscape an excessively large primate with gangly proportions, dark gray skin, and black fur. A deep scar ran down the center of its face, and its nose was completely gone, with only a large open nasal cavity remaining. It wore a metal harness over its torso and had a strap on its right leg that held a grappling gun. The gun pointed directly at Jekyll's apartment. The beast fired the gun. It stretched towards the apartment and broke buildings in the trajectory. The broken pieces fell for a slight bit until they froze in place, suspended in the air. Okay, so limbo shit. Okay, Jekyll flexed his back as a sigil of a sword with bat wings that stretched out the shoulder blade glowed sanguine, and some of the cuts he withstood from the night before sealed. First of all, I would put I would probably
It's about 3 ideas.
yeah. Okay. So I would break up yeah. Limbo. Shit. I might even put a period between them as opposed to a comma. You know, because he's like, and now they have a cave troll, you know, right? It's that kind of, oh, fuck, here we go, right? So, but you don't have to, again, that's fine, right? Jekyll flexed his back. Okay, this sentence I had to read twice to figure out it was a tattoo. So you don't want that. So but I like the flow of words going on there, and I especially like the phrase sigil of a sword with bat wings, right? Because it has a poetic feel. So I'm trying to come up with a way to help you preserve that. I will not be able to entirely like do this paragraph in the same way that I have done things previously. This is going to require a second pass edit. You're going to have to basically go over it considering the suggestions I've offered, and then what you will with them, and then I can check it again later. But Jekyll flexed his back.
Okay, Stretch.
What?
Oh, he's just
Sorry.
talking to me.
Okay. Period. Right? His tattoo, comma, a sigil of a sword with bat wings that stretched out over the shoulder blade, comma, glowed sanguine, period. Some of the cuts he withstood from the night before sealed. That sentence is also a bit complicated because this is chapter 1, right? This is the beginning of your story. This is chapter 1. What cuts from the night before? I don't know anything about what happened, right? So because this is chapter 1, you need to tell us where those cuts came from and how he got them, at least briefly in a flashback or a retrospective thought. That should be nearer to the beginning, right? Where he's kind of half awake, you know, maybe something like when he's rolling over the cuts he'd sustained from from battle the night before, twinged his side, whatever. We're like, you know, something, just even a throwaway line like that at the beginning of the story or nearer to the beginning of the story would give us a clue, right? This is kind of it's not fair to the reader to spring this on them here and reference something that we haven't seen.
Yeah, it's a
right?
non sequitur.
Yeah. Okay, so I like the change of font color, by the way. Just, I noticed now we're in limbo and the writing has turned from black to gray. I don't know if that was intentional, but it looks good on presentation. So nice. Okay, then moving on to the next sentence. I would say the drowned figure rather than a drowned figure. We already know there's a drowned figure, right? And it's reappearing. The drowned figure of the bloodstained child peered through the door. Period. You've left a trail, comma, shit stain, comma, because I assume shit stain is a noun directed at Jekyll. Jekyll is being called shit stain, right? So, you've left a trail, comma, shit stain, comma, and now I, the hunter demon, And if you're going to capitalize hunter, you should capitalize demon if they're part of the same name, right? Is it a title, the hunter demon, right? Then both should probably be capitalized, right? And now I, the hunter demon, will kill you. I think 1 exclamation point is fine. 2 is too many. Especially since you've already capitalized will kill you. We know that this is an enormous roar or scream. It's really loud. It's really angry. It probably hurts the ears, right? So you've already given that impression. So
Yeah.
editors do not like at all. They especially do not like them in doubles or triples. They
It's like
really
penises.
do not.
1 is enough.
Yeah.
For any one man.
There you go. Okay. New paragraph. The diabolical voice twisted, I would say. Right? Before Jekyll looked out the window and saw on the distant horizon of the cityscape an excessively large primate with gangly proportions, dark gray skin, and black fur. This is about 3 or 4 different sentences all in one sentence. Right? Okay, so it needs to be broken up into separate thoughts, right? Why did he suddenly look out the window? Right? We need a trigger to suddenly cause him to look out the window. Did the child disappear? Was there a shadow that passed over the sun that drew the attention of his peripheral vision? You know? Did the child point out the window and laugh? Like, you know, there could be any reason right now. But if I had a demon in my living room with a drowned face and bloody holes in its chest, screaming that it would kill me, I'm not looking out the fucking window. I'm looking at the demon going, ah, and trying to protect myself.
And throwing shit at it.
Probably, you know. Right, but at any rate, when you're in a dangerous situation, you get what's known as tunnel vision. Especially if the threat's right in front of you, you don't really notice the stuff that's going on around you. You concentrate on the threat. Unless he's got a reason. Different one, right? Anyway, right? And saw on the distant horizon of the cityscape an excessively large primate with gangly proportions, dark gray skin, and black fur. Okay. This is an excessively and amazingly redundant way to describe King Kong, right? Like, it sounds like something that a person who is trying to sound smarter than they are would say to describe a creature. And I'm assuming that he comes from our world. Limbo is a little different, right? But Jekyll comes from our world and people think he's insane, or something that's very like our world, right? So, in that case, right, it would be much easier to make a cultural reference like King Kong, or even if you don't want to use King Kong, a giant ape, right? An enormous ape as big as a skyscraper, you know, would be fine, right?
King Kong with armor and backing. Yeah.
Yeah, King Kong with armor and backing. Which also begs the question, why does King Kong need a grappling gun?
Ranged attack. You just can't throw planes at everything, you know.
I don't know. I think a thrown plane plucked out of the air worked just fine. But whatever. That's cool, right?
Hey, it's his limbo. Let him live it.
If it's King Kong, okay, if it's Leper King Kong, because he has no nose, it's rotted off his face, he has a hole instead of a nose, right? We've described that, right? So if it's Leper King Kong in armor and packing, we could say that all in that phrase, basically, right? And it should hurt his brain, right? Because if I saw such a thing, I'd be like,
Transmail
what? No.
Lagoon stays road.
Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay. God, you were cruel. You were cruel. Right? But you know, like this is really weird. This, I'd be like, wow, I don't know what I ate last night, but I'm not eating it again. Or better yet, okay, that's it. I'm done. I'm
This
laying
is
off
my
the mushrooms.
life.
You know?
This is...
Yeah, right? Or shit, I think I'd better go to the doctor. Clearly, I have lost my grip on reality. This is just too weird, right? He should have a moment where it's really weird. Now, I get it happens to him all the time. But I think that because the reader is going to be like, what the fuck? Right? He should have a moment where he realizes the absurdity of it. Don't spend too long on that because we're in the middle of an action scene, right? And you don't want to slow down the action, but he should realize this is really strange, right? Okay, my other question is, right? Okay, yes, I was going to recommend okay, I know your folks are into the Dark Tower series because I had a conversation with one of them about it. I don't remember which one. And
Speak up.
What?
I'm telling Relman Nick to speak up.
Okay, but in book 3, I'm pretty sure, The Wastelands, there is a description of an encounter with a giant rotting cyborg bear. Because we are seeing things through Eddie's brain, reference of Shardik, which is a giant bear that was there was the title of a book by Richard Adams, right? Same guy who wrote The Plague Dogs and Watership Down, right? So had that reference, and even though I have not read the book, I knew what he was talking about, and I had that reference, right? And Eddie was really weirded out by the whole scenario. He was like, I cannot believe this is fucking happening to me. This is just too weird. So I suggest you read this scene for inspiration, right? Because I'm getting a very similar feel. Maybe you've even read this scene and maybe that is inspiring you, right? But go over it as a writer and kind of get a feel for the craft of how he describes it and how the characters feel. Okay, right? Now the other thing. If he's looking at it...
in Wastelands, by the way. The scene.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Wastelands.
It's in Wastelands, yeah.
The Wastelands,
I'm pretty sure
yeah.
it is too, because that's the last one I read.
Okay. So, right. Okay, so now he's looking at, basically King Kong on the horizon of the cityscape. How can he tell his nose is rotted off? That's a long way away to be able to tell that there is no nose. That's a very fine detail.
Unless there's a big gaping hole in the middle of his face, like, when you're talking about a head the size of your living room, and there's a big gaping hole 3 feet long in it, he might see something like that.
Yeah, I suppose it's just, if you're looking at a house on the other side of the city, you're lucky if you can make out the window, right?
Yeah.
So, and
I guess, how far away is he? Is the thing. Right, distant horizon of the cityscape is what you put in there.
Yeah, so distant horizon of the cityscape says to me that those buildings are probably somewhat obscured by mist, smog, and distance, right? And even if there's no mist or smog, distance would make it, you'd be able to see the basic details of the building, and that's it. So you wouldn't be able to see details of a nose in its face if it's that far away.
Unless he's got supervision, which you should mention. Like if he's got some magical vision that allows him to zoom up on that thing and take a good look at it,
Yeah, then tell the reader that.
Right.
Okay, unless this actually is a dream.
Yeah.
Ignore my advice on this completely, because dreams are illogical, and sometimes you get information that logically you would not have.
Yeah. Like knowing what the werewolves are thinking when you're having a dream.
Right.
You know, right?
So totally up to you.
Or if it's dream reality, in other words, like you say, limbo, right? It just might be reality, real dreams that have taken shape in reality. Right? In which case, again, ignore what she said. The information might be there.
Yeah, but you could, again, alert the reader to the fact, if that's the case and it's not a dream, but it's a dream reality, then I would say alert the reader of the fact that you are aware that this is impossible, right? In which
Yeah.
case go, he knew he shouldn't be able to tell, but he could clearly see that its nose had rotted off its face. Nothing but a gaping hole remained. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. It wore a metal harness over its torso and had a strap on its right leg that held a grappling gun. Period. Now, how can you tell from this distance that it's a grappling gun? A, see all the same logic as before about the rotted nose, right? B, right? It's a grappling gun, so it's a grapple attached to a rope, right? Or a cable or something like that. Right? And he's firing it from the far distant horizon of the cityscape.
Well, yeah, I don't have a problem with that, but no.
You don't?
For the same reason, it's
Okay.
limbo dream logic, right? People.
Okay, all right.
People have shot me in dreams that couldn't have possibly hit me.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
Right.
If we've already drawn attention to the fact that we know that this information that he's gathered by sight is impossible, then we don't have to explain
Right.
the grapple either. Fair enough,
Right.
right? So yeah. In that case, period at that point, right? It wore a metal harness over its torso and had a strap on its right leg that held a grappling gun.
He drew
Period.
the gun and pointed it at Jekyll's apartment.
Nah, actually, the gun
It's attached to his leg.
Yeah, he pointed the gun
Right.
directly at Jekyll's apartment. Would work just fine.
Right. He pointed the gun, but the gun pointed directly to Jekyll's apartment doesn't make sense if it's strapped to his leg.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? So that he has to draw the gun or point the gun in some way before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, gun pointed directly at Jekyll's apartment. Period. The beast fired. Period. We assume if he's firing, it's a gun that he's firing, right? Which may not be the case, but in modern assumptions, we assume that, right?
Yeah.
It stretched towards the apartment and broke buildings in the trajectory. The broken
Smashed
piece.
buildings.
Yeah, you could say smashed, although there's nothing wrong with that sentence in and of itself, right? It stretched towards the apartment and broke buildings in the trajectory. If you're looking for the poetic alliteration, broke buildings is fine. If you want a stronger descriptor, then smashed would also work. Okay? And I would put a period at the end of that. The broken pieces fell for a slight bit until they froze in place, suspended in the air. I get what you're trying to say. Let's see.
Angst, we're talking King Kong here, not Adam.
Okay, so maybe something like the smashed pieces, the pieces smashed apart and then hung suspended in the air. Yeah. Now this is a common mistake that I make right there in that too. The broken pieces fell for a slight bit until they froze in place. You're actually slowing down the action there by describing a slight bit, right? So I was trying to find a way to compress it a little bit. Okay. I don't think you need this sentence at all. Jekyll saw as the large claw hurled at the complex. First of all, if you were keeping it, you'd get rid of the as, but I don't think you need it at all, right? We've already described him looking out the window and giving the visual descriptor of what's happening, right? So I don't think you need that, right? I would say Jekyll looked around for his gun. I might even say searched for his gun because one sentence is faster than two, right? Or one word is faster than two, so it speeds it up a bit. Right? Okay. Okay, I do this in a slightly different order. All right, I'll read the paragraph as it stands. Jekyll saw the large claw hurled at the complex. He looked around for his gun. Nothing. He leapt out the window, glass covering him, before he noticed that the hunter was no longer at his perch. Okay, yeah, the laughter of the hunter was guttural, deep, and endless. Jekyll looked to his right. Black webs opened down the street. 4 malice demons emerged from the webbing. Their right arms were large cleavers. Okay,
I like that last sentence.
Me too.
You don't need a period and a comma, though.
Yeah, I'd use the period and not the comma and capitalize the second part as its own sentence.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 malice demons emerged from the webbing, period. Their right arms were large creepers. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I'd skip that sentence entirely. Jekyll saw the large claw hurled at the complex. We know he sees it, right? Jekyll searched for his gun.
Or sought his gun. I like that too.
Or sought his gun, yeah. Reached for his gun, right? Whatever. Looked around for his gun is also fine, right? I don't think it's as strong as it could be, but it's fine, right? He looked around for his gun. Dash. That long dash.
2 dashes.
Yeah. Nothing. Period. New sentence. Right? Okay, yeah, this is what I mean by actually, I forgot what I was doing there for a second. This is what I mean about do it in a different order.
1 M dash, yes.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. What's that? Sorry,
Oh,
I wasn't
Angspace was
looking at.
saying most word processors will convert a double dash to an M dash.
Yeah,
Yes, that's why I meant two dashes. Double dash
yeah.
becomes
That's
an
what
M
I'm getting at.
dash. Becomes an M dash, but that's how you type it. Is dash dash
Yeah,
space.
yeah, yeah. Okay. He looked around for his gun. Nothing. He leapt out the window. Shattered glass. Period. The hunter was no longer at. Are you sure you want his perch? Because last we saw the demon, it was a little girl child. Maybe we want its. I don't know. Okay. The hunter was no longer at pick pronoun perch. Repeat the pronoun. Possessive. It's his, hers, or her. Right. Laughter was guttural, or remained, semicolon, guttural, deep, and endless. That's the best way I can think of to maintain what you're trying to say there and properly punctuate it. Okay. Jekyll glanced to his right. Period. Black webs open down the street. These are separate thoughts, right? And then, like we said before, 2, no, 4, malice demons emerged from the webbing. Period. Their right arms were large cleavers. Awesome. It's awesome, by the way, right? I'm just. This is grammar, for the most part, and grammar is, like, in my opinion, the least important skill of a writer. You need to have it when you're doing this in order to communicate what you're trying to say, but overall, this is intense, and I'm invested. So. Oh, now we've got some Inception shit going on here. Cool. All right. I would skip again the beginning part there. Jekyll's options were limited, fight or run. He knew that running was no option. The hunter had his scent. Jekyll knew that running was no option. Again with the long dash, the hunter had his scent. Right? Because he's not. He knows he can't run. He can't run. Right? So just, skip the debate between fight or run. We know that he's being pursued by something that is horrible and trying to kill him. We assume he's going to fight or run, right? And that comes back to what I was saying about the reader is smart. Assume they can figure things out sometimes, right? I love this. The street shifted and tilted to form a spiral. The gravity tilted to the buildings behind him. Brilliant. He flew back. Crack! His spine and head slammed into the building. I love that. He coughed, tried to gain breath. Love that too. Yes, that's brilliant. That's beautiful. I'm right there. I totally get it. New paragraph. The air turned cold, or something like that. I think the air turned cold is actually probably the best option there, because you could describe things like the mist coming out of his mouth all of a sudden, or I get that you're seeing this in your head like a movie scene, right? But we don't need those cues, right? And we don't want to slow down the action by spending over much time describing the sensory experience at this point. So the air turned cold. That's fine. But it wasn't cold. Now it's turning cold, right? So, okay. The malice demons charged. Their cleavers unfolded. What do you mean by unfolded?
I think you need unfolding. An action that's being taken as they charge. The cleavers unfold from their arm. Yeah, Stretch, if you're going to take over, you better get set up. If you don't want to, though, we can keep doing this. We got, like, all sorts of people in queue.
So my editing rates are... Yeah, no, I'm just teasing. It's fine. We have a channel point reward thing for a reason. It's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. How about the Malice Demons unfolded their cleavers and charged?
Yep.
Because then we've got, we're not slowing down the charge. The charge is the important action there. We're going to react to the charge, right? So we want to have the preparatory stuff to the charging, or even the concurrent stuff to the charging happening before the charging, right? So, yeah. Okay. New paragraph.
Yes,
Jekyll...
you will get that angst haze.
What's that?
Right. She said she's counting on the 500 point channel point reward weight for a preliminary overview of her story. When I'm ready for real editing, I probably can't afford you. I don't know what she charges, to be honest, at the angst days. Right? Alright. I know my hubby's really good at it. Not Sable, but our other hubby.
Yeah.
Alright.
Well, he's the guy I get to edit my stuff.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what he'll charge, but sure, we can talk.
Okay, just a second. I'm going back to make sure I have Angst article up here.
I have angst article.
Well, I need to know how long it is, basically.
Okay.
Is it her whole story or just a part of it?
It is... looks like 5 or 6 pages.
Oh, okay. There's no way I can do that right now.
Yeah.
I think that is not Are you going to be around later tonight, or are you going to be yeah, because Erin streams again at 11 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, I stream again at 11.
If not, he is on tomorrow in the afternoon.
Yeah, I am on again tomorrow in the afternoon. Right, which I could set aside some time to do it then. And I think that works there. DM Stretch, he said after we're done with his article, he'll take over. So we can finish this one up.
Yeah. I'm not sure what's meant there, just being honest about the lack of benefit of honoring channel point rewards as a promotional feature. I don't know whether that's like, well, I spent the channel points, so, why are you not doing the edit? But the answer is because I have a life I have to go do, right? So I'm totally willing to do it, right? It's just a matter of the time, right?
Oh no, Angst didn't mean that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't...
No.
I don't understand. Yeah. Doesn't get finished with other people's article. No need to
in
do
other
mine.
words, yeah, because DM Stretch is in the queue too, eh?
Oh dear.
Right?
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay, this may have to stretch out a little bit, guys. Right?
Right.
An overview is different from an edit. This is why we made them two different rewards. But Galacron has asked for an edit.
Yeah.
He is getting.
Right.
Right.
And we're doing it mostly because he's a good kid, and
I want to encourage him.
Encourage
He's
him
a
to-
new writer, and I want
Right.
to encourage him because he's got some talent, and I
Yeah.
want to see him do something with it.
yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
So I really
I don't
want
want
to
him
help.
to waste it. You know.
Perhaps this would be better to finish up later tonight.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Especially because it is time for DM Stretch to come on now, isn't it?
Yeah,
And I don't want to eat up anybody else's stream time.
right. What do you guys figure? We'll continue this at my stream at 11, which is in 8 hours.
I will make a note of everybody's URL
okay.
who has created, who has used the channel point
points.
reward, and make sure that I do it.
Yeah, we will get it done. Yes, she will do it.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys spent your channel points, I will totally do it.
Yeah, we could set up a Google Meet at some point or time, too. If you wanted to do it just that way.
Okay, yeah. Using channel points reward to access basic editing could be argued as a valid marketing promotional move. If there is approximately no chance that doing that for me would result in paid business in the future, I feel like I should be honest about that. That's fair.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's fair.
Look, honestly, okay, setting it up as a channel point option could be in part promotional. I am willing to do editing. I've done some, right? I put out an anthology, right? Which I published and I edited. And I have been considering it as a side gig. Also, my partner Jamie does editing. Like I said, he's the one that has edited my stuff, right? And I think he's excellent. So yeah, it's partially a promotional idea, but it's also partially because I want to help and encourage other writers.
Right. So what is the channel point cost for an edit?
I believe we said 1,000. But if I'm going to do thorough edits like this, I might want to bump it in the future, to be honest, because
Yeah,
we're already in the 2 hours, right?
2,000 points.
Oh, well, that's
That's
about
all
right.
right.
That's about right.
Right.
You think it's way low? Well, I could raise it in the future. That's fine. You know,
Okay,
I
what do
don't
we
know.
got here?
I know a story girl does it for 5,000 points.
Yeah,
So
maybe 5,000 points for an edit. Right. A chapter edit. Not like a book edit.
yeah, no, there's no way in hell I'd be able to do a
Chapter
book.
or
No way.
equivalent, like, 10,000 words.
Yeah, not on air. There's no way I'd be able to do a book on air in this fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to be more clear. You're absolutely right. This is still very
Like-
new.
Yeah, 4,000 to 6,000 words or something.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go through the chat now and make sure that I get the links. Stretch is in the queue as well somewhere, right? And Barbarossa. Okay, do you have all the links there?
Yeah, they're in my... I put them all up in my Chrome.
Okay, do me a favor. Copy all those links into our Discord private conversation
Sure.
and mark whose they are, right? And then we will continue.
Okay.
Probably tonight. And if it doesn't get done by tonight, then
Okay, STM stretches. That's that one, and that's that one.
that's awesome, DM Stretch.
Alright.
Fair enough. I worry about not harming you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Hey, you're not...
But I'm good
Yeah.
right now. Yep. Sable, what channel would I post a question about World Anvil article layouts on your server? I'd put that in the world, in the Anvil smelter, the World Anvil smelter channel.
On your
That's
world.
probably what I. Right, or world building, either one.
In our server.
Yeah, in our
Oh,
server.
okay.
Yeah, we've got a channel. I called it World Anvil Smelters because
Oh.
it was entirely for let's share our World Anvil articles. Let's talk about things on World Anvil.
Okay, here
Yeah,
you go. I'm
no
putting it in
worries.
the chat. I'm just gonna put it in the chat here.
What chat here?
The stream chat.
No, don't put it in the stream chat. The links.
Yeah.
I'm asking you to put them on our conversation in Discord so that I can reference them later.
Okay.
If I have to reload this
Well, I was
page
just
with
going to
the
let you
stream chat.
load them.
Okay, so that's Ank's article. Yeah, I'll put Galcron's book link there. Okay, so I have that.
And there's Stretch's article. That's all.
And Barbarossa had something he wanted me to look at too. Did he include a link?
He did, but he's got to include another link because it doesn't work anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barbarossa, throw your link in there so we can put that in the message. There we go. Perfect.
There we go.
I'll grab that.
Yes, the
Okay.
map. Le map. That's looking
Great.
really great, man.
All right, let's see. I'll get to it when I get to it. It's a reasonable timeline, especially if it comes with a proviso of and when you are present. Yes, of course, you have to be present or I'm serving you no good, right? So jumping through the hoops to set up IRC connection to Twitch is super helpful for persistence of chat log access. I may have to ask you about how to do that because I haven't the slightest clue. Honestly, right? I meant to get on Twitch ages ago, right? And I had real trouble figuring out how to do it because everybody just starts talking about OBS on their blogs without explaining what OBS is. How I finally got onto Twitch was that I started poking around in Twitch, realized it had its own software, and generally that's what I use, right? Erin uses Streamlabs, but yeah, so
Okay, Stretch. We'll
I'll
be
check
there in
that
just a
out.
minute.
Yeah. So fair enough. I will check into that then, Angst. Thanks for the suggestion. Link IRC to Twitch chat. Is that what I should be Googling? Because there are many situations where I'd find that helpful. We'll go over your map in more detail again tonight, Barbarossa. We'll do it like first thing because it's cool and it won't take long. It's a map. The map is not boring. The map is cool. So we will check that out when we first get set up, and then because I know you got to work, right? So yeah, okay, awesome, Angst. Thanks for the suggestion, and I think now we'll go raid.
Remember our raid call? Prepare to be boarded. We are Sable's privateers.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy this, actually. I really like trying to help other writers out. It's so hard to find editing or even know where to start with editing a lot of the time, and I figure that this is a way in which I can at least get people, show people what to look for and get them started, right? Time of day, wherever you are, my friends, and we will see you in a few hours.
Yep.
That didn't work. Why didn't it work? Is it not DM Stretch? Is that not his channel name?
Yeah, it's there.
Oh, it's not showing up in my thing.
Just raid DM Stretch.
That's what I typed.
Worked for me.
All right, see you later, folks.
Okay. Ready to view raid. There, I raided. Yeah, I will.